Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new webinar platform. This one's called Contrast. Those of you, if this is your first webinar, or your first webinar with Promevo and gPanel, you're like, what is he talking about? But I know some of you are regulars and are accustomed to one platform or going to Promevo.com. And now we're in this new thing. Bear with us, we're still figuring it out. But yeah, it's called Contrast. And before we jump into stuff, I'll just give you the quick tour. So over on the right side, you'll see a couple of options. One of them is a chat, but one of them is a Q&A. So as Shelby is going through the gPanel demo today and talking through all this stuff, any questions that you have, drop them into the Q&A tab. I mean, if you drop them into the chat, we'll still figure it out. But the ideal scenario is dropping them into the Q&A tab, and then we can call them out. And I think there's an upvoting function in there. So if someone drops a question that you would also like to see answered, you can hit the upvote button. But yeah, there's some more functions in here. We're not going to play with them today because we're all scared to touch the buttons. So over time, we'll roll more and more of that out. And yes, to answer your questions, I will try this one. To answer your question, you are watching gPanel Basics for the month of July. And yes, this will be recorded and you will receive a link to watch it on demand as soon as we wrap. Oh, look at that. It even has our gPanel website.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, we appreciate everyone bearing with us while we try out new technological horizons. My name is Brandon. I'm the marketing director at Promevo, the maker of gPanel. And we are joined today by Shelby, who is one of our support engineers and the resident queen of gPanel. Shelby, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing excellent. Really happy to see you. Hope everyone had a wonderful 4th. And we're glad everyone is here. I see we have a handful of people in the audience. So thank you for joining us. Just a quick recap, and then I'll stop talking and Shelby will take you through gPanel. But these sessions, we do them every month at usually the second Tuesday of every month. And this is really just a level set. What are the most important functions within gPanel that you need to know? So we obviously have some very in-depth tutorials and webinars that we've recorded over the months on things like policies, automations, signature management, calendar management. We have like really deep dives. If you go to gpanel.io in the resources section, there's a bunch of stuff on there. This is really just like, hey, what are the most important functions that you should know as a gPanel user? Some of you are brand new to gPanel. Some of you are in a trial. But I also see some people in here that you've been here for a while, which is great because like you may be really reliant on, let's say like the Google Drive management functions of gPanel, but maybe you're not as familiar with user management or calendar delegation or things like that. So that's where we're going to hopefully teach you a little bit about where to find these things and how to do, or at least how to get started with them. So again, like any questions that you have, the Q&A tab within the chat section over on the right sidebar, we will answer them either in real time as you drop them in. If I can jump in and interrupt Shelby, we'll address those in real time, or more than likely we'll take 5 to 10 minutes at the end to go through your questions. If you have different things, like if we have time, if you have a function that you want to see Shelby show you, we can do stuff like that. So just be sure you interact with us. Let us know you're out there and say hello. All right. With that, I am going to stop talking and I'm going to hand it over to Shelby, and she is going to walk you through gPanel. So take it away.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm Shelby Gaines. I am a system support engineer here at Promevo. I've probably worked with a few of you guys on a ticket or a video call, but it's great to be here to connect with you guys. And I will be leading this month's gPanel webinar, focusing on the basics. These webinars, like Brandon said, are designed for new gPanel administrators. We'll explore some of the platform's most valuable features, aiming to equip you with the knowledge and skills for effective gPanel management. The topics we will be covering today, will be administration tools, user management, calendar resources, drive functionality, and the reporting tool. Some key takeaways that I would like you guys to walk away with today are understanding the core functions of gPanel, gaining confidence in navigating the gPanel interface, and learning how to leverage gPanel's features to streamline administrative tasks. gPanel is a tool that duplicates a lot of the functionality in the admin console. It also provides additional features that aren't found in the Google Admin Console. So simply put, gPanel is a tool to manage users and adjust their permissions. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I do want to highlight too is the ability. This is also a newer feature, was released in May, is dark mode. Administrators can find that here you're able to switch from light to dark mode. This is also pretty cool because sometimes working with those bright screens can cause strain on your eyes. So this is also a new addition. I also like to highlight too that also at the top where your profile picture is, you will always find your role and what status or what tier you're on for gPanel. So if you ever need to know if you're on a standard or enterprise, you can always take a quick look up here. There's also going to be some quick links if you needed to access maybe support, if you needed to reach out to us for a question. You can use this button, the user portal, and then there's also a link for documentation. So I'd just like to kind of highlight those as well. The first set of tools that we're going to take a look at are going to be the administration tools. The administration tools are valuable for new gPanel administrators. One very important section is going to be the gPanel admin tool. In order for any user to use gPanel, there first must be a user assigned as the application admin. The application admin has to be both an active user and a user assigned super admin permissions within the Google Admin Console. There can only be one. So if you know that you have a current application admin that may be leaving in the future, you may have to deactivate their account. You do want to go ahead and change that to an active user to avoid any service interruptions. The gPanel settings encompass a range of other functionalities, including the ability to enable secondary domains. So if you have maybe 4 other domains that you also want to help manage those users, you can also enable those. You can just come in here, click, then you can enable. You also have the Google API status, which is probably one of my favorite features. This toolbar provides important information about the operational status of different Google APIs, which makes it easier to monitor and troubleshoot. You can check all of the admin APIs up here at the top, or you can actually target individuals if they're having maybe a drive issue or email issue. You can come down, search for that user, and you'll be able to see if those APIs are working as well. We also have welcome templates. This is very helpful if you're creating new users and you want them all to receive a maybe a specific welcome message or email once their user account has been created. You can come in here and create that. I also like to highlight the indexing. Any changes in the admin console automatically sync with gPanel when users log in. But if you did need to make changes or to update a user profile sooner, you can use the indexing tool. Indexing updates both gPanel and Google consoles and can be done by users, groups, calendars, and org units. I also like to highlight the role manager tool. This allows administrators to create new roles with specific permissions, which is particularly useful for granting managers authority solely over their teams. It kind of helps takes away the stress from maybe just one admin having to manage everything. And for our enterprise clients, we also have an API. Enterprise clients can utilize the gPanel APIs to integrate with different software programs like Workday, Okta, and HubSpot to automate processes like onboarding users, decommissioning users, and even creating standard user policies. The next section that we're going to take a look at is going to be the user management. gPanel's user management serves as the default landing page for admins, providing a comprehensive user directory that mirrors the admin console, eliminating the need for user imports. New users can be created right here, and this is a pretty straightforward process. But I really want to highlight on the granular permissions that admins can adjust. So let's pick out a user. As you'll see, all of the settings are going to be grouped by category, so it makes it easier to find. The settings that we're going to highlight today are going to be the Gmail settings. And again, these are going to be tools that are only found within the within gPanel admin. The first one I'd like to take a look at is going to be your account delegation. Account delegation is a feature that allows an admin to grant specific privileges to other users' inboxes. Within Gmail, end users are able to delegate their own accounts, but in situations where you need individuals to act on behalf of each other, or maybe a compliance situation, Admin are able to come in and delegate users in gPanel and also set an expiration date. So maybe you only need a manager to be able to get in. Maybe they need to manage one of their team that's missing. You just need them to be able to get those emails for a week. You can come in here and set that. The next tool that we're going to take a look at is going to be the vacation responder and forwarding. These are also unique to gPanel. While these functions are available to the end user in Gmail, there is not a way for administrators to access these permissions within the admin console. In gPanel, administrators have the ability to manage these settings. A vacation responder, also known as an automatic reply or out of office message, is a useful tool to inform senders that you are unavailable and provides information about when you will be back. This can help manage expectations and prevent urgent matters from falling through the cracks. For businesses who have clients that anticipate ongoing communication, this gPanel feature might be a valuable tool for your business. The same can be said about forwarding and forwarding addresses. Enabling email forwarding ensures productivity and creates a backup of important emails by forwarding them to another address. Again, you're going to always just basically create that constant communication. And again, these are also tools that you cannot find in the Google Admin Console. The last feature that I like to highlight are going to be signatures. Now, we do have a full signature template section that you can find under automation. But this right here, this is another unique feature within gPanel. Signature templates can help streamline your workflow and enhance your professional images. Signature templates can help with branding and help to maintain a consistent look and feel for your emails. They also going to offer quick, let's take a look. They also will offer quick access to contact information like name, title, phone number. You have the ability with all the templates. You can also target users, groups. But if you just maybe you just need to highlight maybe one user and they just need a different signature template than the rest, you can create that signature template and you come down, you can find that. And again, these are just really helpful. This is something that you cannot do within the Google Admin Console. Users are the only ones that can create their signature templates. Our next topic, excuse me, are going to be calendar resources. And again, if you're familiar with the Admin Console in Google, you know that you are really limited on what you can do with the calendars there. gPanel offers comprehensive calendar management capabilities. One thing I like to highlight is the ability to transfer calendars. This is particularly beneficial during employee offboarding, ensuring that future events are not missed. So, for example, if you know that an employee is leaving on a Friday, but their calendar is booked for the entire month, a full calendar transfer can be done to perform and maintain continuity. So, very helpful. When you're accessing a user's profile in gPanel, all associated calendars, including secondary ones, are visible. Admins are going to have the ability to come in and edit, share, and manage user access with roles that mirror those in the native calendar app. Calendar events are also visible and manageable within gPanel. So just taking a quick look, administrators will be able to come in, they'll be able to edit the calendars. Maybe they need to change the name, the location, the time zone. They'll be able to do that. Administrators are also going to be able to share the calendars and also adjust the roles, not only from the top level, but also just seeing what users and groups has access. And you can also adjust the roles. Again, these roles are going to be the native roles that you will find in your default Google Calendar app. It's really cool. Another thing administrators can do, and probably like the most helpful, is the ability to come in and manage events. So not only are you going to be able to see all of the events on a user's calendar, you can also create events. If you needed to maybe perhaps add another person to an event or maybe update the event, you can come in really easily. If you needed to change the date, you can do that. If you needed to add an additional user or group, you can do that. And if you even wanted to let your users know, hey, there's been some changes made, you can highlight that and update. Again, this is all stuff that you can do within gPanel. You will not be able to do this in the Google Admin Console. Although not covered in detail here, resource calendars are pretty similar to the regular calendar section. You can manage those the same. For organizations with compliance requirements, and they just need to know basically they need an audit trail. You can also take a look at your transfer logs. The next section that we're going to take a look at is going to be the drive management tool, and this is a really big tool. gPanel's drive management offers a more user-friendly experience than Google's, especially when it comes to transferring drives. So let's go ahead and pull up a specific drive. Once you search for the user, you will see all of their drives, all their files and folders, and you will even have access to their shared drives. I do like to highlight too that there is also an option here again to transfer drives between users. This action is also irreversible if you do it in the Google admin console. But let's say in the instance you accidentally transfer a drive, gPanel's drive sweep tool, which is going to be found under automation, will allow you to come in and basically restore edit access to the original owner. So again, if you accidentally transfer something to admin console, you can't get that drive back. gPanel, we do have a tool that will allow you to do that. Unlike the limited My Drive management in the Google Admin Console, gPanel provides comprehensive access to all users, folders, and files. Administrators will have the ability to not only create folders, they can view documents, adjust sharing permissions, control document visibility, and also set expiration dates for access. So let's take a look at that. So like I said, once you search for a user, you will have all of their files and folders. You can come in and you can manage it the same way. So let's just say if you wanted to view this document, just wanted to make sure, oh, maybe that might be a good one to view. Actually, let's find a document for it to view. But you may have, most of these you should be able to view. That one, you may have to request access, but let's go back to, let's search again. You'll have the ability to rename the document. One of the cool things about the drive is the ability for administrators to monitor the basically the sharing permissions. So again, if you needed to change it from the top level, maybe you wanted this document to be restricted, or maybe you want to share with everyone in your domain, you can come change the visibility from the top level as well as add other users and groups. And the cool thing about this is when you add other users and groups, you can also adjust their roles. Again, these roles are going to be the native roles that you find within the Google Drive app. So again, viewer, commentator, contributor, there can only be one owner. And then you can also come in and set an expiration date. So maybe you only need a finance manager to look at this document for a week and they only need to have viewer permissions. You can come in and you can adjust that. Again, this is something that you're not going to be able to do within the Google Admin Console. The next tool that we're going to take a look is going to be the Drive Search tool. There is a Drive Search tool that is available within the native Drive app. However, that is only exclusive to the user's drive, meaning that you can only look inside your drive. You wouldn't be able to look inside other users' drive. The gPanel Drive Search tool allows administrators to locate any document within the domain using various search parameters, and once found, manage the document similar to My Drive. So you will have to provide a source. The source will either have to be a user, a group, OU, or domain, and you'll just need to actually fill in one of the fields. In this case, we're going to fill in, let's just do actor. And what this is going to do is this is going to go through that user's drive and pull every document and file that has to do with actor. And as you see, this is what we get. And you're going to be able to manage this, manage these documents the same way that you can manage the user's My Drive. So you can come in and you can view the document just to make sure this is the actual right one. You're going to be able to come in, again, rename, make a copy. You'll have the ability to adjust the sharing permissions. Again, you can change it from the top level. Maybe you need to remove a user, you're able to do that. And if you needed to delete, you can also do that as well. For those companies that rely a lot on compliance, the ownership transfer logs provide a report of all the drives that have been transferred. This is going to be especially useful for companies with strict compliance requirements. Maybe you were unsure when a drive was transferred. You need to go back and look at those logs. Those ownership transfer logs will show you all that. As an administrator, overseeing shared drives within your domain, you possess extensive control. This includes the ability to share drives, manage members, and adjust their roles, which mirror those found in the native Drive app. If you encounter a drive where you lack access, a convenient access request pop-up will appear, enabling you to grant yourselves the necessary permissions for management. So that will look like, for instance, maybe if I needed to access Wade's shared drive, but I'm not a part of it, I will get this convenient little pop-up and I will grant myself whatever permission that I need. And then I will be able to have access to that. So I'll have access to all these files and folders. There's nothing in there, but if there was, I would be able to. You'll also be able to come in, let's grant myself manager, and you'll be able to manage all of the files and folders similarly to how you do those in My Drive. So this is a folder, but let's see if there's any more in here. You can basically drill down, which is really cool. Um, one of my favorite parts, I think, is the view, because what it does is going to bring you to this little pop up. Then I can choose to open it with Google Docs. I can choose to share it. Of course, you can manage it the same with your sharing. If you needed to restrict this document, maybe open it up to everyone in your domain, you can do that. And again, you also have the ability to add different users and groups and change their roles as well. So this is really cool. The next section that we're going to take a look at is going to be the report center. The first thing I would like to take a look at are going to be the cPanel logs. The cPanel logs diligently track and record all admin activity that take place within the Google Admin Console. This comprehensive log can prove to be an invaluable resource when troubleshooting and resolving issues that may arise due to changes made within the Google Admin Console. By examining the cPanel logs, administrators can trace the sequence of actions, identify any configuration modifications, and pinpoint potential errors that could be contributing to the problem at hand. gPanel's reporting tool is a powerful feature that provides administrators with a comprehensive granular view of their organization's Google Workspace environment. While the Google while the Google Admin Console offers basic reporting capabilities, gPanel goes far beyond, offering over 77 customizable reports that deliver specific details about users, groups, OUs, and domains. As you will see, the reports are all categorized by service. Each report will have different sets of data depending on which report you choose. So here's just a quick look at all of the reports. Keep in mind that depending on your tier of gPanel will affect which reports you have access to. So for instance, if you have gPanel Starter, you will only have 12 reports versus Enterprise where all 77 are going to be included. So let's just take a quick look at the process. One of the things that you can do that you're not able to do within the admin console is basically set a schedule, which is really cool. You can come in and you can set it by weekdays, months. And once you set this and you set the schedule, it's one and done. If you're familiar with the process in the admin console, you know that if you choose to set up a schedule, a report in the admin console, it's one and done. You have to reset it again. Here, you don't have to. It's all set. You can also choose a file or folder for it to be dropped in. And again, like I said, all of these are going to have different types of data. So maybe in this specific report, you only need a list of all aliases. So you can also unclick like all of these columns and only have add aliases. And so that way, when the report runs, you only have that information. The sources can be either user, group, OU, and domain. In this case, we'll pick a user. And then you also have the ability to not only email the report out, but you can also share it, which is really cool. If you need to share the report with specific users or teams, or perhaps you need the email to be automatically emailed to specific users or groups. They're expecting the report every Monday at 8 a.m. You can also set that up. And then lastly, it's also going to give you a nice review. So if you need to go over, maybe need to change your source type, maybe change your columns, you'll be able to do that. I do like to highlight that some of the key advantages of our reporting tool are going to be granular insights. You'll be able to gain a deeper look into your users' activity, data usage, security, and compliance. The customization, again, you can tailor these reports to your specific needs and preferences. The ability to schedule the reports and automate report delivery, and real-time data. When you run all of these reports are going to take a minute for the data to populate, but that's because it's getting it in real time. When you do run those reports in gPanel, in the admin console, sometimes those reports are like, I believe, delayed by like 24 to 48 hours. So they're not as up to date as these reports will be. I'm going to finish off here just for the sake of time. But I'd also like to say, if there's anything that you guys want to see more in depth, you can always reach out to me. And I'd be more than happy to go more in depth and show you guys some more stuff on a one-on-one call. But I'm going to send it back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Shelby. Let's see, how do I get us back to, there we go.
There we go.
That was great. We just spent, 20 plus minutes going through just the basics. Like, gPanel is big. There is a ton of stuff that is under the hood that it can do that you can't do with Google Admin Console. And that's where, one of Shelby's goals is to help all of you out. And that's why we do these webinars. So we have a couple of minutes excuse me, you guys are a quiet crowd so far, which is totally fine. But if you wanted to throw out a question, now is the time, and we will address it. And I do want to throw out, so down at the bottom of your screen, a little pop-up thing should be showing you a link to our office hours series. So periodically we will do a what we call an office hours, or an office hour, where it's really a deep dive on one particular gPanel function. And if you click on that link, you'll find videos that we've done over the years on all the things that I mentioned at the beginning: calendar, delegation, Google Drive management, reporting, signatures. There's about 16 to 18 hours of content in there. The other thing, obviously, is on gPanel, down in the bottom right, you'll see that little chat icon, and that is a direct portal to Shelby and the support team. And if they're working, if it's during working hours, I should say, not to imply you don't work. If it's during working hours, you'll be able to talk with them directly, and they're happy to help you with any questions that you have, anything that you're noticing that maybe isn't working the way that it should, or just you need like a quick refresher or brainstorm, like, hey, can gPanel do blank? I can tell you from my experience, it probably can, and Shelby and her team will be the ones to help you out. So I think with that, looks like we don't have any questions, so we will go ahead and call this one a wrap. Again, if you check your email here in a few minutes, you will get this recording emailed to you directly. Whether you are here with us live or just registered. So we appreciate all of you for your interest. Thank you for being gPanel clients, or for considering using the tool in your own environment. Shelby, thank you for walking us through it, for all your efforts into putting these presentations together. And with that, I am going to end the webinar, and I hope everyone out there has a wonderful Tuesday, and the rest of your week, and we will see you at the next one. Bye now.
Bye.